Hey guys, another month have passed in 2023. So how have stock markets performed in the month of August and year to date? Let's have a review on the markets. Similarly as usual, let's look at the 4 key indices that I'm looking at throughout my stock investment journey, beginning from the best performer to the worst performer in August. But it's pretty obvious here. You can see that the FBN KLCI is up 0.8% in August. Good, finally, Malaysia. The US S&P 500 is down 1.59%. About time for it to retrace. The Singapore Straits Times Index is down 4%, and the Hang Seng Index is down 8%. So Hang Seng isn't in a really good shape at the moment. But looking at 1 month figures isn't showing a big picture on what is going on. So let's have a look at the year-to-date numbers to have a clearer picture on how the performance is actually like for the year. Beginning with the S&P 500 is actually up 18.09% in 2023 so far. Then nearer to home at Straits Times Index is down 0.39%. The FBN KLCI is down 0.7%. No big deal, relatively stable for the year, but of course, we always want growth. Hang Seng Index is down 8.75%, being the worst performer so far for this year among these 4 indices. Solely looking at this performance of the indices is just telling you what has happened, but let's have a closer look at the price action to see where it's going from here. Beginning with the S&P 500, as obvious as it seems, the S&P 500 is on a pretty clear uptrend. As you can see, it's making higher highs and higher lows. And if you look at the moving averages, they are sloping up. Then the 150 moving average is above the 50, then the 20 is above the 50. So it's pretty obvious it's an uptrend. Then the S&P 500 is, it did make a retracement back in July and August to a very, I would say, a pretty strong support level. It made support here. Then if you look at the past, it makes support here, it makes support here, and a lot of resistance here. So it's a pretty key level of support. It didn't break through that, so now it's going back up again, and now it's approaching a resistance level. How do I know that? If I look at the past, it has made a resistance level here, resistance, a support level, support turn resistance over here, and now it's a resistance. So if it manages to break through this level, then we can see it to continue going up from here. And looking at this bullish candle that was formed a few days back, it seems likely, but who knows, anything can happen. It might actually go down from here. Now it's made some bearish signal, but not very strong one, right? It could just continue up, or which is a little bit, or even go down, but who knows. Be prepared for what's gonna happen. Moving on to the boring chart, Singapore Straits Times Index. As always, it's always on a sideways pattern. It did went up in July and it came down again in August. So not much excitement. It's more or less predictable for a Singapore market. But what's interesting will be the FBM KLCI. Back in June, July, I did mention that it has reached a very old support level, like the COVID levels back in 2020. So it has made that level again, and it seems like it's gonna go down even further, but that didn't happen. But in August, it reversed back up to the next level of resistance, now turn support. Then the moving averages are starting to slope up. Then the 50 and 150 are intersecting each other, so it seems like it's gonna go up again. Then the 20 is already above. So a uptrend is forming for the FBN KLCI, but no guarantees. And for the weakest performer, Hang Seng Index. Hang Seng Index was on the down, and it continued the downtrend, unfortunately. And it's pretty obvious, the 150 moving average is above the 50 and the 20 is below it. So it's on a downtrend. and it seems that it's not gonna end soon unless we see some very strong reversal pattern over here. Though we did see some potential double bottoms, it did went back up in July, but that didn't hold. So the Hang Seng Index is always just playing with our feelings. If you have been following the recent developments in China, Evergrande, the largest property developer in China, has filed for bankruptcy, and China was on a deflation situation in July, August. But will it be a widespread panic that caused it to go down even further? Hard to tell. But I can say that if the Chinese economy is not doing well, then US markets will be affected as well, since China is still the second largest economy in the world. So when something bad happens to China, the rest of the world will definitely feel it. And just for personal sharing, since the retracement of the US market is here, I've started to buy a little bit of positions in some companies that I really want to buy. For example, Meta is retraced from its high of 320. It retraced back to a pretty strong support level that is a horizontal support and a 50 moving average support of around 280 or 290. I bought somewhere around 298, so not a very cheap price, but yeah, I don't foresee it to go down to 240, the 150 moving average slash the another next level of support. Though I wish it went there so I can buy, but based on this bullish candlestick pattern, might be a bullish engulfing to some. It seems that it's gonna continue going up from here. Alright, so Meta is an example, but you know, not just tech stocks that are going down. There are some other stocks that are going down as well, or ETFs, or in my case, IHI, which is the medical devices ETF. It retraced from 57, 58 to 51, which is somewhere in my cost price. So I've averaged in my positions to buy at a good price. So healthcare is down pretty bad. Another sector that's bad will be consumer defensive. I've actually bought one McDonald's. Yeah, not Iron Gore and McD, McDonald's. So it retraced back to a support level, horizontal support level slash the 150 moving average. So I decided to buy one unit, and if it does continue to fall, say the next level of support 262, then I might buy another unit of McDonald's. Right, but I buy here because who knows, it might not go down. Then if it goes up, then I just ride a bit. If it goes down, then I just average down on my position. So with everything that's being said, can we expect something good that's happening in the year end? Hard to tell. Based on price action alone, the S&P 500 is making a good direction. It seems like it's making new highs again in this year. Hang Seng, not really, it's just getting worse. Singapore is stable. KLCI seems like it's improving, but it's very unclear on the direction. And every time you're just going to keep up with developments to see how things will play out. Alright, so with that, that is a pretty, I would say this is a pretty quick review session. See you in the next one.